thank you for listening so much.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. And Brandon, thank you for being an awesome co-host.
We're almost about to cry here, guys.
We can't.
Welcome to the Aviation Mentors Podcast, the podcast that takes your dreams of flight and turns it into reality.
Sponsored by Strass Financial, financing your flight training.
For pilots, by pilots. I'm Brandon Martini, a commercial pilot and flight instructor.
And I'm Carson Vasquez, I'm a private pilot.
Whether you're a seasoned pilot or beginner with dreams of flight,
Aviation Mentors is your source for expert insights, industry trends, and inspiring stories.
So fasten your seatbelts and prepare for this incredible journey through the skies.
And stay connected with us on social media for exclusive content.
And visit our website at www.aviationmentors.com and let us be your co-pilot on this adventure. Welcome back, everybody, to another awesome and amazing episode of the Aviation Mentors Podcast. Today is a very, very special day, if you can't tell why we're excited. I'm really happy that we finally got here to 100 episodes. And don't worry, everybody, we're not going anywhere. We're looking forward to the next 100 episodes.
It's our 200th episode.
I can't believe this day ever came.
I didn't think we were going to make it.
I didn't think so either. And our producer, Mark, we've calculated it. We believe it is his 100th episode that he will be editing for us. Which makes sense. He came in right when we first celebrated our first 100 episodes. So
yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
You can see a difference between our first 100 and the next 100. It's awesome.
Yes. And it's getting better and better every time. I mean,
literally every episode.
Every episode. I mean, we've now got these big lights right here. Hopefully they'll have a diffuser on it in the future.
That's the next thing, I promise.
They haven't come in yet.
I know.
And maybe two more cameras.
2 more cameras is for sure happening. Can't happen as soon as the next episode.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I know.
So it's fantastic. Thank you, everybody who has joined us on this journey. We're going to talk about kind of what the inspiration was and what it was like.
We're going to go down memory lane today.
We're going to go down memory lane.
Oh, I love going down memory lane.
I do too, especially when it's enjoyable.
It's not bad memories.
No, I mean, we had some bad episodes. We had some great episodes. We had some amazing people that we got to speak with. We got to reminisce about so many cool things. I mean, just this is so rad. I remember talking to some pilots when they're CFIs and they work at airlines now.
I was just thinking for just us, what we've accomplished.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
become a pilot, then not a pilot, then back to being a pilot again.
I know, totally. So when we first started this, we had a lot of reasoning behind it.
I think we had more free time too.
Oh, we had a lot more free time. Yeah, we had a lot more.
We thought we were busy.
Well, we also started out this. I'll start off with how many episodes our goal was. Our goal was to do 52 episodes. Was it 52? No, 100 episodes in one year. And we almost hit that.
We actually got really close.
Yeah, we hit like 95 or 6 or something like that.
If you go back and look at the dates or even with us the whole time, you'll see that we were doing 2 episodes a week every Wednesday and Friday for a good couple months.
For a year.
Yeah.
A full year.
A full year. And sometimes we would record like 4 episodes in one sitting. It was a lot.
And you could tell on the days that it was great or not great.
Yeah, I mean, and think of our moods just through the whole thing. You guys have heard great episodes. You've heard not great episodes. And we've come out the other end as well and being like, oh, man, that was a fantastic episode. I can't wait to put that one on. And sometimes we're like, wow, we got it done. We don't feel great about it. And it's just luck of the draw, I think.
I don't know. I think nowadays it's a little better than luck of the draw. I think we have a cadence down. But in the beginning, we didn't know what we were doing.
It was all new.
It was all new. I mean, our very first episode, before we even came up with thinking about what an intro and outro and mid-reel is and all these things that you probably hear in our post-production that we don't even listen to anymore because we see it happen in real life, right? We had to create that, and we didn't know how to create that. We didn't hire a podcast, what do they call them?
Consultant?
The podcast consultant, yes.
And I'll one up that. We started this before AI became a thing.
There was no AI. We
There was no AI.
With scripts.
We came up with the scripts all by ourselves. I remember I would type out almost every word I said for the first few episodes because I was so nervous.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Brandon was like, he was like, I'm confident I can talk about all these things. Like, yeah, you're a CFI. I'm not. I was like, I don't feel as confident.
He would literally read word by word on a script. And if you go listen to the first few episodes,
you can hear it.
Oh, you can definitely hear it.
But it's a lot better than what it sounded like without those. I would start rambling and I'd get confused about what I was talking about. So I was overwhelmed. It was a new thing. But I remember when we first started this podcast, we had to come up with those lines that Brandon was talking about. And what did we do? How did we do that?
I mean, which lines are you talking about when we first did the
first ever?
So we were talking about this and talking about launching it before we went to Oshkosh. We wanted to launch it at Oshkosh. We figured we can just record inside the motorhome that I rented.
Because we thought you could take a phone call inside their meetings. It's no different.
Yeah. And we didn't calculate there would be jets flying over constantly. Even though I went to Oshkosh several times prior to that, I should have known that.
It was my first one.
It was his first one. He didn't know. It was definitely totally on me.
But what was on me was to get the equipment. I remember getting this little kit off Amazon. I was like, oh, it has everything we need. Perfect. Mm-hmm. And I realized why that was so cheap on Amazon.
Yeah. Didn't quite work as well as we thought. But we ended up writing up these scripts and we didn't even know what we were going to be called. I mean, Aviation Mentors actually took us a little while to get to here, by the way.
It was not in the first 2 or 3 batches for sure.
No, I think it was kind of something that we thought about long term, and that's really what morphed the podcast. Originally, we wanted to share knowledge with our listeners and share what we love, and what we love is aviation and learning to fly. And we try to figure out, well, where can we go with that? And Carson was still a student pilot or just a brand new pilot. And I was already a CFI for a couple of years at that point. So I felt like I had the knowledge. I was assistant chief instructor at my school at the time. I ran 2 successful 141 flight schools. We started Stratus around, maybe a year or 2 before we started this. I figured we would know something and we'd be able to share something. So the beginning episodes were really just us kind of, I don't know, messing around and
finding our groove, really.
Yeah. And
it was necessary evil.
It wasn't necessary evil. And we talked with some of my friends who had podcasts. And I know we've talked about Mike Harris a few times. He used to have a podcast called Why We Fly. He's not as active on it anymore. He only posts an episode like once a year. And Mike, shout out to you. If it wasn't for you, I would have never done the first episode in I think it was 2015 or 2016. It was 2016 at Oshkosh from my tent.
Podcast bug.
Which gave me the podcast bug. I got to listen to myself on the radio going down the road, which was kind of cool, and see my name on an iPhone on a public forum. It was really empowering. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, I totally think you should. It's fun to do so. Make sure you have the knowledge behind it so you can really talk. And I mean, every once in a while I'll BS my way through something, but in reality, I can look it up and.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many times we pause it, and by the magic of podcasts, we're able to find the answer and make sure it's correct. Most of the time, it's like, I think this is right.
I would say 95% of the time it's right. But
but we just want to fact check. That's, we have that disclaimer for the 5%.
Yeah, we might as well fact check in real life sometimes.
But we do fact check pretty much in real life, and we go through and make sure that what we're given is actually the correct thing. But it all came out to what we wanted the podcast to be about and how we'd find our niche in a world of 1,000 podcasts just in every subject. Mm-hmm. And we decided that we wanted to teach. We wanted to share what we know, and pilots love to share. So we thought we'd share what we know and get other pilots that share what they know.
And I also thought that it would be really some of my favorite things, and I haven't got to do it in many years. COVID kind of stifled this. Was I used to go to the hangar, and I used to go have barbecues, and I used to go have conversations just talking about airplanes and talking about flying and talking about the thing you just did yesterday and what did we learn from that, and what's going on with this engine? And, how can we fix that? Or, why is this so expensive nowadays? And it should have been cheaper back in my day, or whatever it might have been, right? And those are some of the most fun conversations. And even some of those pilots I used to do that with, they used to come into my office or come into the hangar. They're no longer with us. And I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about those people there that I can't even talk about those things anymore. Well, at least on this podcast, they're memorialized. And I don't think anybody who's been on this podcast has passed away, knock on wood. But at some point there will be, and luckily we'll be able to see their faces if it's been the past 50, 80 episodes or 100 episodes, and we'll be able to listen to their voices forever, which is really impactful to me. So,
well, you see what it felt like doing that episode with Dave Granville talking about his dad.
Talking about Joe.
Yeah, like that was like a really just impactful episode.
It was emotional.
Not on everyone else, I don't know, but I know in the studio it was an emotional episode.
It was massively.
I was talking about someone that was important to him, important to both of you, it sounds like.
Yeah. And honestly, I love flying his airplane. I haven't flown it enough lately. I need to go in for annual now. And Dave, if you're listening to this, I'm just going to bring it over and start working on it for you because I want to go fly it again. And I want to take you in it. Memorialize and remember Joe again. And the way we can do that is through that airplane. I mean, it was one of his favorite things. So I would have to say that we wanted to talk about some of our favorite episodes, and I would say that is up there in the top few episodes that we've done. What else? What else might be a favorite episode of yours, Carson?
I think anytime we have a guest, I really love it. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite. They haven't been any of my guests necessarily, But I think anytime we have a guest, it just comes out as a great episode because we get a new piece of knowledge. I think everyone else enjoys it too because it's not just the two of us talking every time. We get to hear some really great ones.
I do know there were 2 episodes that we had 2 guests that were absolutely atrocious. I'm not going to mention who they were, but if you've listened to all of our episodes, I'm sure you know.
Yeah, it was an episode with Carson, Vasquez, and Brandon Martini. Are those the ones?
Yeah, episode 1.
Episode 1.
Yeah. But honestly,
episode 1 is actually episode 5 or 6.
It really was.
We tried that first one. So if you hear it, and I'd like everyone to go back and listen to it now.
I just pulled up our website to look at kind of what the names of our episodes were. Episode 1 was called "The First Solo Flight Makes You a Pilot," and I haven't listened to that episode in a couple of years. I'm probably going to go listen to it on my way home today just to see what we sounded like. And it's
a totally different podcast,
I'm sure, but I do remember it took us back to me, my first solo flight, and remembering looking to my right, and I was like, oh, blank. I'm by myself in this airplane. And it does. It makes you a pilot. And that's why we did that episode, because I think that becoming a pilot, you really feel real when you're the only one in that cockpit and you take off. You're really a pilot at that point. You're flying an airplane. You might not have the certificate. You might be able to do it legally all by yourself without supervision. But
that's the first time you really have your life in your own hands.
But you just flew an airplane. It's pretty cool. The next one was one by Carson. It was called Overcoming Fears in the Cockpit. And he was afraid of certain things, and I was afraid of stalls, massively afraid of stalls. And now I just do them for fun. I don't really care.
He's afraid of heights. I think we neglect to mention that enough.
I am afraid of heights. I am getting over that, though. Actually, the older I get, the more I can look over balconies and the less afraid I am.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just less afraid of death.
Every day you're closer to death. I don't
know. But there were so many cool things.
I mean, one of our first ones was an episode with Matt.
And that was episode 11. I can't believe it was that long ago.
I can't either.
Yeah. And now he's an airline pilot. Another one of my flight instructors that Matt flight instructed, they end up flying in a cockpit together now on what airline do they fly?
SkyWest.
SkyWest. Amazing.
That's cool. I mean, Matt's the one that got me into aviation. So going back.
He brought you in. Yeah.
189 episodes later, here we are.
Yeah. We did an episode, I guess, episode 16.
I remember
Am I too young to fly? Was that with Austin?
That was with Austin.
And we were
talking about him
13.
landing the Duchess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was such a cool thing. The coolest airplanes we've flown and seen. I've flown a lot of cool airplanes. And I mean, aerial firefighting with Ryan Elsman. We should probably chat with him again and talk about aerial firefighting again. I bet you he's doing something really cool with it now.
Probably. I'm surprised that one didn't go as crazy as I thought it would, because I think I'm just biased. We're in Southern California where it's fire season.
Well, I think nowadays, with the listenership we have, I think it might. Back then, it was probably a little new, but it was such a cool episode. We also talked about, NASA reports, ASAR's reports. That's not necessarily a cool episode, but that's an informative episode.
It's something that I didn't know about until I had to file a NASA report. Yeah,
it's just, oops, I screwed up.
Yes, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, we talked about the hazardous attitudes. That was probably a boring episode. I'm macho. Yeah. No, these are things you have to learn, though.
They are. And that was part of the mentor in Aviation Mentors. We needed to share the knowledge. And sometimes, as much fun as we have doing like the one that came after it, which is our Reddit episodes, we loved answering Reddit listener questions wherever we can find them. We love doing them.
Reddit, it says that was number 2 Reddit. That's like episode 36. So that means that was only, I don't know. What's 36 divided by 2, Carson? 18?
Wow, I'm glad I could help.
You're welcome. That was only 18 weeks in when we did those Reddit questions. And now we've done like 10 or 12 of them. It's pretty amazing. And they're some of my favorite things to do. One on seaplane adventures. We talked to an old employee of mine, Mario, and actually, this is a cool one. On episode 44, Mario was cleaning aircraft for us, the underbellies of aircraft. Sometimes you'd have a great attitude about it, sometimes not so much. But
can't blame him. He was cleaning the belly.
He was. And then he got to entry-level avionics. And I believe now he's doing like full-on avionics work at repair stations.
It's cool to see the growth of people.
Matt
started with cleaning planes, and now he's flying SkyWest. So
he did. Yeah. So there's something for you.
There's a good segue.
Go clean airplanes.
Go clean airplanes.
They got
whether or not you get paid for it.
They got a whole bunch of flight hours, a bunch of A&P time for free, by the way.
Yeah.
Just via hanging out with us. Talked about flying airplanes. We did Sun and Fun episodes.
Those were those were up there with my favorites. It was a lot of fun walking around with Brandon. We had just the little portable mics, and we were just BSing our way through sun and fun, just having a good time talking, meeting other people and interviewing them. So, I mean, just getting to be on the ground is
Can
fun.
you believe we did day 6, we did 6 episodes of that, and we went day by day talking to all these people. I remember we talked to Mike, and we even commiserated with him about how hard it was to start a podcast and what it was like. Oh, that was such a cool thing. Let's see. Oh, test pilot.
Oh, Kevin Strange.
Episode 69 with Kevin Strange. And if you know Kevin, he's a fun guy, and he would have loved. He's still around, by the way.
He's a test pilot, but he is still around.
I bet you would love the fact that his episode was 69. Yeah. I wonder who episode 67 was. 67. If there's any kids around here,
yeah, I could tell your kid's in high school.
My kid's in high school. Yeah.
Can't wait for him to get out of it so we can have a normal Brandon.
I know. I'm in group 7, by the way. I don't know about you.
Yeah, everyone's in group 7. I looked into it.
I don't think so. Okay. All I know is I'm in group 7. Now, if you're listening to this and you don't know those references, you don't have is it Gen Z or Gen Alpha kid around you at all, or
dating someone that works with them.
Yeah, exactly. And some other cool episodes. We did it on towing gliders. I remember I used to tow gliders quite a bit. I haven't done it in a while. I'm still on the mailing list, like the email list.
The please come fly for us list?
The please come fly for us list. Like, oh, we're having to cancel because we don't have a tow pilot. So I've been thinking about doing that again. I just need more time in my life. Maybe next year I can make some time. When I get my ATP, I can go do it. What do you think?
I think you have a lot to do before you get more time in your life. But as soon as you can figure out how to get another hour in the day, let me know.
Definitely.
Because I would also like to go fly for gliders. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh, episode 96. Awesome. Brandon and Austin's seaplane adventure. This is where I believe we went up to pick up or drop off the Icon for some maintenance up in Northern California.
Yeah, you guys splashed around up there. You went to see Kevin, I think.
We saw Kevin. Kevin was splashing around with us. We were doing Icon in formation flight over the water and the mountains. It was such a rad flight.
60 knots.
Yeah, 70. Yeah, 60. Maybe, actually, 65 sounds about right. Yeah, I guess we're both right. I mean, at some of the aviation associations like LPA, who we're a big supporter of, from Stratus, one of our great flight school partners, U.S. Aviation Academy, did some stuff with us. I mean, this is going down memory lane for sure.
One of my favorite titles, Living Right, Staying on the FAA's Good Side.
Oh, that's a fantastic one. We did Christmas special. We should do another Christmas special this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should.
And I would like to do it. We can interview some pilots at the Next Gen Christmas party. I think that would be great because
Did I just get invited back to the Next Gen Christmas party?
You're back, Carson.
Dang,
back.
2 years off. I'm back. I never thought I'd see it again.
Yeah, well, welcome back. I mean, facing the FSDO. I mean, that sounds scary, actually. That's appropriate for Halloween, right? Halloween just passed us, but it's appropriate. I mean, there's so many cool episodes that we've done. Emergency procedures, that's not really a cool episode, but it was an episode that needed to be done, right?
That's what we're saying. Sometimes we get down and we sit down and look at what episodes we can do, what scripts we have ready, and what points we want to make. And we realize we've done a lot of fun episodes. It's time to get some informative stuff out there. Like when something big happens is in Mosaic, we said, okay, we had 4 other things on the docket we wanted to talk about, plus 100 that Brandon wanted to talk about. And we said, we need to talk about Mosaic ASAP. It's huge and we need people to know about it. And obviously, as you saw from that comment section, we really needed people to know about it because people weren't aware.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many. I remember in the beginning, we did the first 10 episodes. And we were like, there's nothing else to talk about. We have nothing
again,
more
this
to
was
talk
before
about.
AI. We couldn't generate lists of ideas. And we're sitting there and I was like, Brandon, I think I talked about everything. I talked about being a pilot. I talked about solo. I talked about landing. I think that's it. And he was like, okay, why don't you go through, through the pilot handbook, the PHAC, or the FAR-AM and look for some interesting topics. Well, okay, I came back with more. And we kept doing that. And then ChatGPT came out and we did a pretty cool episode that was written entirely by AI.
Oh yeah, we did that.
I'm sure now it can be 100 times better.
But it probably sounds more natural.
Yeah, but we couldn't get any good ideas. And then we used AI for a little bit to generate some ideas. And we'd, take that. We wouldn't just use them. We would pop off and, go on to other things from it. It would just kind of
it would
help us brainstorm.
Spark some ideas. Yeah.
But I don't think we've used it in a while. I think we've really just had so much to talk about, because once we realize anything can be a topic, especially once we figure out what we want to say about it, which I think is another big thing about starting a podcast, is what are you going to talk about?
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes you don't know.
Sometimes we generally don't know. And, I think after 200 episodes, we can be honest. A lot of the times when it comes to the listener questions, it's like, we don't know what we want to talk about. Let's go see what everyone else wants to hear about.
Yeah.
And that's been a huge help for us.
Yeah. We don't even do that just as a filler. We do it because I think I have the most fun with it.
I mean, it's like free answer time. Yeah. And we love doing that.
Exactly. By the way, episode 11 on season 2, which we talked about in the last episode, we're going to call this no season. We're just going to call it episode 200 from now on. And what is a dirigible? It's a blimp.
I'd never heard the word dirigible. And this Halloween, we all did like up theme costume. Uh-huh. We did trunk or treat at Maddie's school. And
you do a balloon?
It was all up themed. Well, we dressed up. I dressed up as Russell. It was great.
Is that the dog?
Scout. No, that's the Boy Scout looking kid.
Oh, gotcha.
But we were watching the movie in the parking lot, and they were going through the intro scene. He was like, "This is the world's largest dirigible." And I was like, "Oh, I know that word. I know that. We did an episode about it." Maddie couldn't care less, but I was really excited.
Yeah, you should be. I've never watched the movie, so I've got to check it out.
Oh, you'll cry.
Oh, I'm sure I will. Does the dog die or something?
No. It's worse.
Oh, worse. Wow. Jeez.
Anyone listening knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure they all know. Guess I'm going to have to get caught up. How disabled pilots take flight. That was kind of a cool one.
That was.
I would love to actually talk to her, by the way, the woman who's got no arms or legs, and also a black belt in Taekwondo.
Yeah, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo with arms and legs, and I think she can still beat the crap out of me.
I know. I found this out later, by the way. I mess with Carson all the time.
Oh, he found it out on an episode.
On an episode.
It was like on an episode.
What?
Armless black belt in American Taekwondo Association. I have a black belt, and I have 2 arms.
You have a black belt? He keeps saying he has a black belt.
Yeah, the American Taekwondo Association. Actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
You have a black belt in Taekwondo?
I do. I almost got my 2nd degree.
Oh, this was an episode on when Carson went... when you went viral for the very first time. And he went viral before me, which I was mostly disappointed about.
I was over the moon.
How airlines make money. And we just said a whole bunch of things that were true, and just people hated it.
While I was in the Philippines, I was looking at these flights, and they were like $400, $500 to go to California. I was like, this is fantastic. And I got to the part where I had to put my billing zip code, and it was keeping it USD the whole time. It would like quadruple. It was like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for the same flight.
That's insane.
So just based on where you are in the world, the price can difference.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, you should use VPN.
Oh, I tried. It was billing zip code that got you.
I found out the more people hate you, the more people like you online. So thank you to our now 11,000 people that like us on Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
Went up 10% in like 2 weeks.
It is really insane. I remember Mark sent us a message saying, "Hey, we just crossed the 10,000 follower threshold."
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, when this comes out, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. But I remember we were, I ran around the house. I was like telling everyone, I texted all the family group chats.
You're like, I'm an influencer.
Well, I'm a micro influencer.
Micro influencer, yes.
And 5,000 of them are here for me, 5,000 here for you. So
1,000 for Mark.
Yeah, 1,000 for Mark. Now that we're at 11,000.
Just kidding. Mark, they're all for Mark.
Of course.
They all know. Without Mark, we have no podcast.
I know.
So they're all here for Mark. You know what time it is, Carson?
Time's it, Brandon?
It's time to talk about one of our favorite companies.
Which company would that be?
Aviation Mentors is excited to be sponsored by the one and only Stratus Financial, dedicated to supporting the next generation of future aviators.
Stratus Financial really understands the financial challenges that students face in pursuing their aviation dreams. That's why they offer student loans specifically tailored to aspiring pilots.
With competitive rates and flexible repayment plans, Stratus Financial helps take your aviation education to new heights.
So go visit their website today at www.stratus.finance. Just to be clear, that is not .com, it's .finance. And embark on your journey towards a sky full of possibilities.
Carson, it's time to get back to what we do best.
The show.
We did another Christmas one, Christmas in the Skies.
Okay, now it's guaranteed. You guys are going to get a Christmas episode in a couple weeks here.
One of my coolest things I ever did flying, and I don't know if I ever even talked to him about it on an episode, is I went flying on 4th of July. Now I throw the most epic 4th of July parties ever, so you should become my friend just to get invited to it if you're lucky.
That makes sense because we've discussed.
Yeah.
I think we've brought it up on the podcast.
And I throw my parties now, and I do not do it anymore. Yeah. but flying over fireworks.
We can do a New Year's one.
Oh, I could do New Year's. I'm normally out of town on New Year's as well, but this year I think I will be in town.
Yeah, stay in
Maybe
town.
we should do that. Maybe
Let's
we
go
can do
fly.
some recording. By the way, we're also talking about doing some in-flight recordings.
I'm not talking about it. I got a GoPro.
I have GoPro as well.
I know. You said you have one. I
And
want
I've
one
got
on
the
me.
cable. And I have the cable.
I got the cable too.
Oh, perfect. Looks like we have a winning situation here. But these are just some of the amazing episodes we've talked about. I mean, we talked about another episode I liked a lot was the one where you flew animals. Like little disabled animals.
Yeah, pilots and paws.
Pilots and paws, yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest flex I have.
You get to save animals.
I got to save animals on Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day. Oh, wow.
That was
knocked
out of the park.
Did you give her flowers that day too?
No, I didn't need to. I got her puppies.
Oh,
come on.
That's
I
way.
got a bouquet of puppies to save. Let's go.
And I have to say, one of the favorite episodes I have that's brand new happens to be the one I did with Carson.
Aww.
Season 2, episode 60, also known as like 198 or something like that. Back in the left seat, Carson's first flight in 2 years, also known as BFR or
Flight review.
Flight review. Yeah, we talked about this last episode. I cannot get out of my own way and stop talking about what a BFR is. It's a flight review. Same thing with AFD and a
chart supplement.
There you go.
There we go.
Bingo. Bada bing, bada boom. So those are some cool things.
I'm glad you really appreciate me enough to make that one of your favorites, because it was really cool. There's no one better in the world that I could imagine flying with for my flight review. Again,
thank you, Carson.
2 years.
Thank you. We're almost about to cry here, guys. No, I'm
I
just
know.
kidding.
We can't.
We can't.
Not today. It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. I've lost all track of time and date. And we had on here, like, what was our most surprising moment? I would say when we've recorded episodes and they didn't record. And it just turns us into monsters, namely me. Advisory Circular 6198 Echo. And basically it tells you how to run. This is not good. Okay.
I'm sorry, dude.
It's okay. We will. Yeah, we're gonna have to redo the whole episode.
Oh, Rage! I think is
Rage.
Like, it's not at Mark. It's not even at the software.
I'm just
it's
mad at
just
myself, and I know I just
damn.
keep it internal. I just walk away. I'm like, why did this just happen?
Because like sometimes you won't know until the very end, and sometimes we've been lucky, and Mark has been able to catch it before we get too far.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my first flight, the episode 198,
yeah,
3-4 times.
Yeah, but because we had trouble with the new camera system too.
It was
like
every time we make a change.
And the problem is I'm traveling so much and I'm back and forth between Florida and California and all this other stuff. I only have limited time on doing episodes. Today, we had to set another 30-minute time window, and Carson had to move a meeting, and I had to move a meeting just so we can fit in another 30-minute time slot to do this episode, which is going to turn into almost an hour time slot. But just to do today's episode.
Because we used to be able to do 2 episodes in, we'd set 2 hours, I think.
Yeah, we used to one episode every, and then we said, okay, we can do 2 episodes in an hour because our episodes are 20-ish minutes. But if we have any technical difficulties,
game over.
Yeah. It's just,
but that was our goal when we started, because we had enough time to do that. But now, today's the first time I've seen Brandon in 2 weeks, and I won't see him again for another 9 days.
Exactly.
So our schedules have just gotten crazier, but I love that we still make the commitment to get this podcast going, no matter what.
Definitely. And I'm going to surprise Mark here because he's not ready for this. And he's going to have to go off of his microphone and just speak on here for just 1 second. And I want to know, and he doesn't have to show his face, don't worry. But if he wants to, he can. I want to know what his favorite blooper reel that is PG rated that you have ever recorded, Mark. What's your favorite blooper reel that you've recorded and shared internally or externally?
I think that would be...
Welcome back to another amazing and awesome episode of the Aviation Mentors Podcast. Today's episode is going to be just me. Brandon actually is in today, but he absolutely refuses to come over here and actually start the recording. So Brandon's leaving us behind, and it's going to be just me today. So...
Not true.
I guess that's what we have to do to get Brandon to come over and stop working.
Oh, Carson. Look like this.
No, Brandon, no, please.
we do these things every once in a while where I'm not here or I'm like right on the other side.
Oh.
I'm like at my desk. My desk is like right over there.
I know which ones.
And then I come in and I'm like, no, I am right here.
Brandon and I love to antagonize each other. I mean, Mark has to put up with a lot for us. We have a solid 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes longer, before every episode where Brandon and I just screw around. Welcome back, everyone, to It's two things. One, we get to see each other and be right next to each other, which, when two brothers are this close, you end up fighting. Yeah.
Except for he can kick my butt because he's a Taekwondo black belt.
I know, and it's great to put him in his place sometimes. But two, it really just gets us in the mindset for the podcast. Like, we're loose, we're ready to have a good time, and we just kind of shake and joke around.
Shake and bake, baby.
Pretty much shake and bake until we get all the stress from our day before the podcast and all of our worries about after the podcast out of our way, and we're just in the moment for half an hour.
Yeah, and honestly, sometimes I come here and I'm in the worst mood ever. And same thing with Carson. Sometimes he's just like, I'm not here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And by the time we're done,
we're always smiling, having a good time.
We're usually smiling, having a good time because we're joking around, we're being jovial, and it's being
like 2 times we've just had just absolute hell week. And we just were like, okay, get it done. Yeah. Go back.
I mean, there's very few where we just fake it on camera and then we walk away and we're just like, oh, I'm still miserable.
We're usually just genuinely in a great mood at the end of it.
Try to be. So that's what this podcast does for us. And that's what we get to give back for you guys. So, by the way, Mark found the 2 names that we thought about this becoming. And you want to tell us what number 1 was?
Yeah, number 1 was probably my idea. It was just super simple. The Student Pilot Podcast.
And to be honest, it was a good name because there's not one out there right now. I still think it would be a good name for a podcast, but it was too pointed. We could not generalize. We couldn't do some of the things we wanted to do. It would have been so pointed at teaching. We wouldn't have had as much fun. So I still think it has its place in this world. We could do it possibly one day if we had a lot more time.
Or if someone else wants to do it.
Yeah, if somebody else wants to do it, please take the name. Student Pilot Podcast. Just give us a little credit on one of the episodes. Okay.
Yeah, just have us on your podcast.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. And the other one was, because my flight school is called Next Gen Flight Academy, it was Next Gen Aviators.
Yeah, he really broke the mold with that one.
Yeah, Next Gen Aviators. That was our number 2. And then we ended up with Aviation Mentors. And there were some other names on the list.
So it started out with Fly Guy Podcast, Just Plain Radio, Pilot Path, Skies Audio, Flying Ace, Flight FM, Pilot Pitch, Adventures in Aviation, and the one we settled on was Aviation Mentors. There was like taglines that we had tried to come up with. Making the world safe for aviation nerds. That wasn't mine. We've got Fuel. It's not rocket science. It kind of is rocket science if you think about the aerodynamics. Fly safe, fly often. Wherever you fly knowing. Happy takeoff and happy landings. So some of them weren't terrible, but some of them were not great. And a brand guide for like how we want things to feel. And we scrapped the entire thing almost right away.
Yeah. I mean, taglines, it took us a long time before we came up with our taglines. And
I think they've even slightly changed over the time that we've been doing this.
Yeah. I mean, you can still see me in the end. I would say see ya at the end. Or bye or something like this, or thanks, or you'll hear that at the end of some of our episodes, which I still do. And I started that right in the beginning, just to kind of be a happy send off. But I think we came up with your outro pretty early on. I know that the big outro, talking about social media and where to find us, that one's changed many of times over the years. I believe that since you kind of I do the intro, if you guys haven't noticed, usually Carson does the kind of
like a small summary wrap up.
Yeah, he does a summary wrap up outro now, and it's been a blast.
I mean, it's been our script that I have that little summary outro since pretty much day 1 when we got our cadence down. And that's when I used to, like I said, I used to type out pretty much everything I'd say because I was so nervous.
He used to type up the outro, and actually the outros that you typed up are really pretty good. I think the outros today are a little better, but
yeah. But now, it just says wing outro.
It does. It says wing outro.
It's just something I can do now. But it used to be like, oh man, I remember sitting here and just freezing, and Brandon would be like, say something.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about. And how's Brandon's thing? He's like, talk. I was like, but when I talk, I start rambling and then I don't know where I'm going with it. He's like, just talk. And now I think I've gotten the hang of talking.
You know what? I'm really surprised Mark didn't say that his favorite blooper was a Ponder video. So if you don't know about my Ponder videos, I started this little thing on TikTok, which I never really did anything with, but it became an inside joke for me and my friends and us on the podcast here. And there's this guy on social media who I like a lot called what's his name? The
French dude, right?
Yeah, the Stad guy. The Stad. And he talks like this, like he's a very rich man. And he just goes around and he talks about caviar and fine wine and all these other things, right? So I was in France at the Versailles Tower one day, and I said, I really like the Stad guy. And I see a pond right there in the Palace of Versailles. And I want to ponder my existence today. And I start talking like that, and I made this Ponder video, and I posted it on TikTok. Yet another day, another hour to ponder, Carson. Outside, there's a big giant ocean, also known as the Pond of the Pacific. You know, every once in a while, Carson,
what, Brandon?
You must look outside and appreciate the beauty of nature. Even when the water is falling from the ceiling in the office, you must ponder. So I leave you with that, everybody.
Thank you, Brandon.
Please continue to ponder and ponder, and of course, ponder. But I did it mostly because my little sister is kind of a TikTok influencer, and she does it on like low toxic living. And her handle is called Simply Sunday. Her name's Ashley Martini. And she does great stuff, but it's all low toxic everything. So I said, Ashley, I'm going to create something called high toxic living. And
classic Big Brother.
Exactly. And I actually think it's a good idea. It'd be a blast to watch back and forth. But I would do these ponder videos that would just, and there's a little flag out there and I'd be like, I ponder my existence with the flag in the Pacific. And we just go back and forth. So enough pondering for me today.
We just like to monologue, I think, which is why the podcast is so great for us.
At least we think it's great. But speaking of thinking it's great, the last couple of things we want to talk about before we close up this, and I know it's a little longer episode than usual, so thank you for bearing with us as much as you do through all the episodes. But in our kind of our script or ideas for today, we want to talk about kind of meaningful things that we get from students or that we get from people that we've made a real world impact for. I'll tell you that seeing one of the people that Carson paid off to say that he was they were a long time
one I didn't pay off.
Sure. That they were a long time listener and they wanted to get his autograph. And then he got his autograph. That was pretty cool.
The autograph I did have to pay off for, but it was really cool. We're at, I think it was Oshkosh or Sun Fun, and I had someone come up to me and she just said, "Hey, like, you're Carson, and like you're one of the Aviation Mentors." I was like, "Yeah." No one but my mom knows I'm in the podcast, I think. But just knowing that we actually have people who listen to us is crazy, because for Brandon and I, we sit down, we think about what we want to talk about, we do it, and then it's done. As far as we manage things, it's done. And Mark handles everything else, but I don't really think too often that people go and listen to me. It's not something that ever crosses my mind. And Brandon, I don't think it crosses yours until you get messages, and that's when you realize. I
mean, when I get cool emails and cool stories from people, especially the emails, they make a pretty big impact on me. And the ones that have sent me ones, they know who they are. I really, really appreciate it. It means that we're not wasting our time recording these episodes, and it's really making an impact on your lives. And if not for anything other than just being silly and having fun, and we make you laugh a little bit, or we make you cry a little bit, or we make Carson cry a little bit. That's just my preferred way, actually. Often, not a little bit.
Not on the podcast much, but often.
No, it's just making an impact on people. And I've met people at different trade shows. I met somebody at the NBAA when I got my 40 under 40 award last week. I don't even know if I've talked about that really on this episode or on any of the episodes. We can talk about how that was probably in the next episode. That'd be a great one, Mark. But there's different things that make a big impact. And I had somebody reach out to me there and said how much they really enjoyed the podcast. And we talked about the podcast, and we've talked about aviation, and we've talked about how we're making an impact on people. And with that being said, I want to also say, I told on the last episode, I would mention a email that I got from a listener, and it was a really cool one. And this listener's name is Mona. And I believe Mona's been a long-time listener. And she sent over this message. Loyal listener Mona here, same old Mona that added you on LinkedIn, and you got the shout out a couple episodes ago. Thanks, by the way, which was super cool. So thank you, Mona. But this is how she put the email. A sign you need to fly your 120 more. ... That was the subject. And I was like, what is this? And then I opened it up, and it was fantastic. Talked about flying Cessna 140 out of different places, a bunch of tailwheel time. And Mona, you don't know it yet. I'm going to reach out to you. We're going to go fly my 120 together. At least I hope we can figure out a time to go do that. I think that'd be a blast. You've got a lot more experience flying tailwheel than I. I'd love to learn something from you. And as aviators, I think it's important to know that we can always learn from each other. And I want to learn from Mona. Hopefully you've learned something from me. Hopefully you've learned something from Carson. And those are the things that really make an impact in our lives and I think in others as you're a pilot. So thank you for listening so much. 200 episodes so far. I'm getting severe goosebumps again at the moment. I can't believe we've made it this far. I'm looking forward to the next 200, even though we've talked about, hey, should we even do this anymore? Is anyone really listening? And they are. And they are. We're getting more traction on social media. We're getting more traction everywhere. I think that we're helping one pilot at a time, sometimes more than that. Via each episode. So if we can impact a few other people, make the skies a little safer and a little more enjoyable, that's what we're here for. And we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening again to us. It means more than you know.
Yeah, like Brandon said, I can't wait for the next 200 episodes. I can't wait for the next 100. We've had the privilege of being able to track our growth as people, growth as friends, growth as aviators, as business people in the last couple of years. Just by the number of podcasts. I mean, I can go back and look at any podcast and tell where I was at that time and listen to it and tell, how much I knew or didn't know compared to now. And I love seeing that progress tracker we have, which we call episodes.
Big time.
So thank you everybody for listening to us. And Brandon, thank you for being an awesome co-host.
Same here, Carson. Well, with that being said, this is the closing of our 200th episode, and we're cheersing to 200 more. We're gonna go celebrate this 200th episode together as friends and as podcast hosts and coworkers and all of the above. Do all the same things and go celebrate today. Today is a milestone day for us, so you might as well celebrate the milestones. There's many people who don't celebrate anything in life, or they wait until a perfect moment to celebrate. I'll tell you this: everybody, this one wine guy taught me one day. He said, "Why save the $500 or $1,000 bottle of wine in your fridge or in your cellar or wherever it might be to celebrate eventually one day? Today is the day that you need to celebrate, because today is worth celebrating. And even if it's not a day to celebrate, it's always a day to celebrate. You're alive, you're well, your friends and your family are here. It doesn't matter what the worries are in your life. Go celebrate, live life, enjoy it. And we don't know what tomorrow will bring, but today we know we can celebrate. So today we will. And thank you so much for joining us. And as always, if you'd like to reach out to us on our emails, you already have them by now, or our LinkedIn. Don't forget to hit like, follow, subscribe, all the things that we always ask you to do on all the places that you listen to us or see us on. We don't even need to say them this time. So thank you again for listening to us. Like I said, it's not just a huge part of helping us grow the podcast. It's really helping us grow the podcast community. And that is much more important than us. And it's empowering to the aviation community at large. So thank you again.
Couldn't agree more. And as a wrap up for our 200th episode, remember, we're here to guide you in your aviation journey. So fly safe and enjoy the ride.
See ya.